Hi guys, welcome back to my culinary Japanese culture channel. Have you ever been Hiroshima? Hiroshima has many delicious cuisine and I'll introduce you to one of the most famous ones, Hiroshima style okonomiyaki. Hiroshima style okonomiyaki is known for having noodle in it, which makes it incredibly satisfying. While it typically cooked at hot plate at the restaurant, however today I'll make it with frying pan, doing at home cooked version. And don't worry, I'll also introduce you to some popular tourist spots in Hiroshima at the end, so be sure to stick around until the end. On this channel, I focus on providing the easy way to cook Japanese cuisine. If you think this video is good, I would appreciate to push like, subscribe, and bell mark. So let's get started! Introduce ingredients. First and foremost, we have a flour, which is essential for the making okonomiyaki. Next, we will need 2 eggs, bean sprout, and cabbage. We also need a pork belly, because prepare thinly sliced pork. And of course, we cannot forget the crucial ingredients for Hiroshima style okonomiyaki, which is noodles. We will also need a tempura flake, bonito flake, aonori, and as always familiar dash of bonito. Additionally, we will be using Worcestershire sauce. If you want to make a more authentic okonomiyaki, it's recommended to have the sauce called otafuku sauce. So let's cook it! The preparation is incredibly simple. First, we will cut the cabbage into 1 cm width. In Hiroshima style okonomiyaki, it's a characteristic to remove the cabbage slightly longer. And that's all there is to cutting. You might think, is that it? But really, that's all. Next, let's transform the bonito flake into the bonito powder. Start by spreading the dried bonito flake into the container and microwave them for about 1 minute at 600 watts. After heating, collect the bonito flake by hand to turn them into the powder. Microwaving them helps remove the moisture inside the bonito flakes, making them dry. This is helpful not only for making okonomiyaki, but also when we want to use bonito flake as a dashi for miso soup, for example. So please give it a try. Now let's prepare the butter. Measure 40 grams of flour and add 60 grams of water. Measure them well together. We want the consistency to be somewhat runny. The exact amount may vary slightly depending on the type of the flour and humidity, so adjust it gradually. In my case, the butter was slightly dried, so I'll add a little more water. Scoop it out with a spoon or any utensil and let it drop off smoothly, with the butter connecting as it falls. That's the ideal consistency. Next, add about half of the bonito powder we prepared earlier into the butter. Adding the bonito flavor to the butter will enhance the depth of the taste. Then all that's left is to cook it. First, add 1 teaspoon of oil. Heat the frying pan on medium heat. At once it's heated, crack 2 eggs into it. Break the yolk slightly and stir the pan to spread the egg evenly. The key is not to full mix the yolk and egg white. Once the edge of the eggs start to set and can be easily separated from the pan, transfer them to a plate. Next, prepare the noodles. Place the noodle into the frying pan and add a little water and sauce. Gently separate and loosen the noodles using the chopsticks. Since the sauce contains a lot of sugar and can be easily burned, it's important to keep the stirring and moving the noodles with the chopsticks. I found that I needed a bit more sauce, so I added it. When the noodles turned brown, they are just right. After the cooking for about 1 minute, place the noodle on top of the eggs. Next, let's cook the butter. Add a little of oil to the frying pan. Then pour a little full of the butter onto the pan. A butter set quickly, so as soon as you pour it, and tilt the pan to spread the butter evenly. It's important to do this immediately. It might result in the slightly irregular shape, however, that's perfectly fine. After cooking for about 3 minutes, remove the butter from the pan. Next, let's cook the pork belly. Spread it out in the pan without overlapping and cook it. Once it's partially cooked, add tempura flake, pea sprouts, and cabbage. At the first, it may seem like a mound of vegetables, but there's no problem. Adding the leftover butter here will make it easier for the vegetables to connect to each other. Then layer the previously cooked butter on the top. This acts as a cover and ensures that the heat reaches the vegetable evenly. Once it's partially cooked, add a dash of bonito. Since you want to add it directly to the vegetable, flip the butter once and add the powder. Then continue cooked until the vegetable becomes tender. The key is to cook it slowly over low to medium heat without stirring it at all. Once the vegetables have become somewhat tender, it's time for the finishing touch. Press down on the vegetable to remove any excess moisture. This helps remove the moisture from the vegetable and allows the flavor to penetrate better. Shape it by bringing the spreaded out edge back to the center. Next, transfer the cooked vegetable onto the plate you prepared earlier, maintaining the shape of the cooked mixture. Image sliding it onto the plate while keeping it firm. The step is crucial for presenting the beautiful shape of Hiroshima-style okonomiyaki. It's time to flip the layer that we have built. Hold the plate with one hand and hold the frying pan with the other hand. Place the frying pan upside down over the plate and quickly flip them together. Once you open the plate, ta-da! You have a perfectly cooked and beautiful shaped okonomiyaki. Carefully move it onto the plate again. And adjust its shape if needed. your okonomiyaki is now complete. Finally, sprinkle the remaining sauce, mayonnaise, the reserved half of the bonito powder, and some aonori on top. Finish!
So let's いただきます。
Now let's dig in and enjoy. Since it has layers, no matter where you cut, you'll get the taste all the flavor together. And don't forget to savor the unique feature of Hiroshima style okonomiyaki, the noodles that are mixed in. Every combination creates the ultimate okonomiyaki. It's addictively delicious. While the Kansai style okonomiyaki is also fantastic, I highly recommend trying the Hiroshima style okonomiyaki as well. I encourage all of you to give it a try and make it yourself. You won't be disappointed. Lastly, let me introduce some of the best tourist spots in Hiroshima. First, we have the Origami Crane Tower. It's located right in front of the atomic bomb dome, and from the top floor, which has a ceiling made of wood, you can enjoy the panoramic view of the Hiroshima city. There is also a cafe where you can relax and enjoy the drink. And this is Atomic Bomb Dome. Next, we have Itsukushima Shrine on Miyajima Island. It looks as if it's floating on the water. In reality, the water is shallow, allowing the birds and even people to walk up to Torii Gate. Here we have the Toyokuni Shrine. The main hall is also known as the Sento Rokakudo or Southern Tatami Hall. It's a building that has stood for over 400 years, and from here you can enjoy the beautiful view of Miyajima. Lastly, here's the authentic Hiroshima style okonomiyaki that I had. On the left side, we have the cheese. On the right side, we have the green onion. I hope you'll get the chance to visit this amazing place and try making your own favorite okonomiyaki. Thank you for watching until the end. I'll continue to introduce the Japanese cuisine. Please subscribe to the channel so you don't miss it. See you next time.